Few minutes ago, we saw you and Bon County Representative Mbokole in some hula balu, some noise. You care to tell us what went wrong?
Basically, I think Honorable Kole will have to try to re-look at how he approached things, on the floor. We actually came here to represent our people. Our people make a lot of sacrifices to send us here. I remember during campaign time, we were telling our people into our respective districts that we were going to ably represent them here. So representing our people is not just by coming in section to say yay and to say nay. Even the way we conduct ourselves, there are other younger brothers and sisters who are out there that have interest in being politicians. I mean, the way we carry ourselves, they are also following, our different processes at the legislature. We are also serving as example for other young folks, who one day could also have the opportunity to come and serve in the legislature. And our people that we represent are also following us. They listen to us on different radio stations, and now Facebook have taken everything worldwide, and people follow us on social media to know what their people are doing for them at the legislature. Most especially during this time, it's a very crucial time, the budget hearing time. I mean, where now we are making decisions for the different hospitals' budget to be increased, our various public and private schools should be factored. The issue of WAS fees, the issue of roads connectivity, the issue of electricity expansion and stable electricity. The issue of empowerment for our people to be empowered, the issue of salary increment for our civil servants. There are many other issues that we have to be very, concerned about as legislators. So, at this time, you cannot be as a young man for the sake of our generation. You cannot be out there and you start to behave in a very unorthodox way that will bring, different mindset of the people about us in the legislature. So, yeah, it is good sometimes to raise your voice, but when your concerns have been heard, you have to give other people the opportunity. You have to give them a chance to express themselves. You cannot be out there, you keep the entire house at a hostage. We already don't have enough time in our place. Imagine we go to section for 2 days in a week, which is not enough to make decisions for over 5,000 people. The time is not enough. Our session starts by 10 o'clock, and sometime by 3 o'clock we are out of that place. It is still not enough with the many challenges we have in this country, most especially when it comes to youth empowerment. The young people, they were not factored sufficiently into the budget. Absolutely nothing is there for the young people. Look at the disabled community. Look at our brother in the street that we refer to as Zogos in the street. They are not intentionally there. Some of them were taken in the street through peer pressure. They also affected people from around us. So there are a lot of things we have to do here now. We should be left on the table, and that's not why the people pay us. The people pay us to work for them, to serve them, to speak for them. How can we be here to speak for the people? In the end, we start to fight amongst ourselves. This is not right. So we are just trying to conscientize him, like, hey, Kole, you have spoken. You have to, give other people the time to talk, but you cannot keep the entire house at a hostage. And you're taking advantage of the presiding. The presiding in his wisdom asks that we walk, you saw, honorably and respectfully, because he has the gavel, he has the authority. And say, okay, since these guys cannot understand, you walk out of section. But you saw the hostility from him. It was very, it was bad. He's a brother, he's a friend. But he has to desist from this kind of behavior.
Okay, so what specifically happened that that section today, the budget hearing had to be disturbed? Was there something specific that he did that the speaker had to ask both of you out of the...
Yeah, what happened was there was a bill that was placed on the floor by one of our colleagues, Marvin Cole. and everybody were giving their different opinions as to how they think, and more especially trying to recommend, to make different amendments in the bill. And after doing that, there was a motion that was passed, and he understood the motion differently, at which time it was already sent to committee room, instructing few committees to take responsibility of the bill, make those different recommendations, those different amendments, and bring it back to plenary with their report. And that bill had to do with the legislative, the Capitol Hill Police. Okay, that will also be able to empower all Liberians that will come to serve, in different capacities. So my recommendation with that bill was, okay, we agree that we want to have our own police on Capitol Hill, the Capitol Hill Police, which is good, it's not bad. But let us focus on, let also take into consideration the police who are already in existence. We'll have them here. Let's try to increase their salary. Why it is true that we can also, we should also have Capitol Hill Police, I support that. But what happened to those police who are already here? What are we doing about them? They are already crying about salary increment. We have the Sergeant of Arm here, they have their bureau, they're also crying for support, the issue of mobility. And so while we're trying to do that, let's take into consideration there are a lot of employees here who have been crying that what they work for is very small, and when you look at a decent work bill, they actually need to be increased. They got a lot of professional people here that need to be paid in accordance with their qualification. So there are different issues that we try to make recommendation while we accept this bill. But we should also take into consideration those different factors, most especially the armed forces of Liberia, the police, the immigration, the DEA. We have a whole lot. So, we embrace it, but we should also take these other people into consideration, these people who are already in existence. So now is the right time because we are discussing the budget already. So we can do increment, from all sectors. Most especially when it comes to our security sectors. The teachers are not getting enough salary, and these are people who are preparing presidents, who are preparing ministers, who are preparing, managers and other people. We have to increase these people's pay. Going out the days where teacher will go to classroom and work for 100, 150, 200, but he is preparing somebody to become the next president of the country. He is preparing somebody. I didn't graduate from high school out of Liberia. I graduated from high school right here, right in Cinco, to where I represent the people of District Number 9. So imagine how we now have teachers who are going to prepare us for what we do today. What are we talking about? That's something else. So we have to give them first preference. So while we go about doing all these smaller things, let's also take them into consideration so that they can be able to take something better. Somebody can teach a classroom and be able to build a mansion. Somebody teaching a classroom should be able to do something better for himself. But you notice no teacher from the classroom is even able to build or even buy the land. Now to get a lot of land is nothing less than $2,000 US. So the man who is teaching in Cinco to buy a land in Cinco, now you're discussing almost $40,000, $50,000 US. So how can this man? So the man will teach for the rest of his life and he cannot even own a property. So what happened to his children? This man is making sacrifices for other people's children to become better people. So what become of his own children? And all those different things. We got a whole lot of things. Let the nurses. We got JFK and other medical centers. We have JFK over there. You got people who come sometimes, there is no enough beds. Yeah, President George Weah did well. He did a whole lot of different work at JFK, but still more need to be done. So, there are a lot of things we need to focus on in the legislature rather than doing all those unnecessary attention seeking. Like you want to talk for people to see that, oh, this man is talking, he's a tough talker. But what are you talking? What sense is it making? Are you talking for the people, or are you talking to prove to the people that you know? So if you want to prove to the people that you know, you should prove through the logic you push. You should prove that through the difference that will come in the budget that will affect the lives of the people. Okay, you got Bon County over there. You have hospital in Bon County. Hospital. You got other clinics. It's a referral hospital. How well is that hospital? You as a representative, you bought one ambulance. Can that one ambulance serve the entire people of Bon County? No, that was good. We appreciate the idea. But that is not your role to be buying ambulance. Your role is to make sure you make better appropriation so that all hospitals can have ambulances. Okay, so those are different things I think we do. So we need to change our approach as member of the legislature. We have to change the approach. The approach of just, no, We come in our section now, we have to conduct ourselves very, very orderly, so that our people out there can know that we truly represent them. And not just to conduct ourselves. Whatever we will do there, it should reflect on the lives of the people. So what's the reflection? Budget is about to pass. What are we doing for the people, our medical centers? What are we doing for the salary increment of the civil servant? What are we doing for our teachers? What are we doing for all of these public schools? Now I noticed this when I travel to other countries. I noticed that majority of the citizens, even government officials, send their children to government school. Mm-hmm. People will prefer attending government school than private institutions.
In other countries.
In other countries, okay? In fact, there where you have the best teachers, there where the curriculum is being guarded 100%. You have the best education coming from government school. But in Liberia, it's the opposite. With the mindset that we have to have people going to public school, that means probably your parents don't have money, you can hire food. Mm-hmm. I mean, 98% of the students, unless you just find 1% of those students who wish to attend that school. So, I mean, because why? No proper care is being taken. You don't have all of the facilities there. You don't have what it requires to be in a public school. So we are asking Tottenham Hall, and other public schools around, Nesedo in Matari, and other public school. We have another public school on 12th Street, and other parts of Liberia. What are we doing in the budget for these schools? What are we doing? If we should make a change, the change should have an effect on the lives of the people. We have made a lot of policies in this country, and those policies are, they are just being, I see as lecture. What are we doing towards the implementation? They have to take effect, because when it takes effect, then it comes down. But the formula we've been using is very wrong. And so as a legislator, during this kind of time, these are times of concern. These are times that people have to be very focused. Be very sensitive to what is coming before you. They gave us the budget. That is my budget book. Okay. We've been reading this book for like a month now, going in and out. We've been making different contributions as to what we think it should be. Our roads, like my people in District Number 9, we need more intervention on our roads. The people in District Number 9, we need more water, not just District Number 9, but other districts in Liberia. So I learned our allocation. So as a representative, you just there to provide oversight to make sure what the people want, it should be given to them, the right thing should happen. And once those things happen, you'll find everything working out. Like you gave the district 100,000. Why? I know that it's small, but it can make some impact. You can touch some community. There are some projects. We got some different projects. We got academic programs in the community. We got different youth programs. For me, I run my district on a program basis. I don't run my district on a political basis. I run it. This is why you see everything I do in my district. You can see the trademark for those things. So, it is why it is. But he felt offended. We said, you have spoken. And you are not just speaking. The speaker gave you the opportunity to speak. And you spoke. The presiding. You done speaking, and the speaker noted what you spoke about. But you heard the microphone that nothing else will happen until, whatever is being done. I think it was wrong. It was totally wrong. You cannot keep us at a hostage. You cannot keep the host at a hostage. So I think his action was wrong.
Honorable Foko, we also hearing a suspension in the current.
Coming back to the budget, like you have been one person who always advocates for your district, and today the budget is going to be debated on the floor, and you being excluded by the presiding. How do you feel?
Basically, it was like I said, in his wisdom, we've been working. Like I already told you, what the budget should be. We've been having different budget hearings, and I'm from Masorado. I'm privileged to be the member on the Public Account Committee. So we have had a lot of different issues. Basically, I wasn't going to talk much in there because we have done all of the technical aspect of the budget. We are just bringing it to the public now to know what we have done behind the scene. You also follow the different hearings. So, it's not a good thing to not be there. It's not a good thing to not be there, but my people were actually represented very well, and what we pushed for, we did not just push for only our district, we pushed for the entire country. So what will happen in district number 9 should happen in all of the 73 districts.
Many people will say you struck some good points about pushing for education, the increment, more allocation in the budget for education, rules, and other. In fact, increasing the budget of various districts. But I mean, are there other colleagues who will be like you to speak more? Do you think you have other colleagues who will speak like the way you're speaking?
Yes, basically I have a lot of like minds colleagues who are, I mean, they mean well for the Liberian people. And we have, like I said, we've been working behind the scene. We've been called here for almost 1 month. The president called us back while we were on vacation. And he asked us to come and do the Liberian people's job. And we came back. We didn't hesitate. We came back to do the job. So almost 1 month now, we've been working behind the scene, public account, and the ways, means, and finance. And many of us who are on different committees as heads, we also been working, behind the scenes. So basically, everything that's been done now are things that we've been working on. So I will encourage other lawmakers to also take these things as priority, for which I know they are already doing. But I think they also need to express it so that people can know how they feel or how they represent their people. So one of the issues here, many of our brothers are from, they are from different counties and they are here. So many of those counties, the social media is not reaching there. It's only ELBC. So I mean, it's a challenge for their people to know what they do here. So they have to go back home, annually to go and do their report as to what they did in the legislature. I know not many people could do that or may do that, but as you have followed my activities in the district, every year I make my annual report. This time around, we have decided to change it now to do quarterly report instead of annual report. So as soon as possible, right after the budget, I should have been doing my report this month, but because the president recalled us, so I have to probably do that by the grace of God in May or June.
Okay.
Honorable, today you are all set in session today. Can you tell the reason?
Yeah, basically I was not really upset. I was just telling my colleague to conduct himself well. I was asking him to give everybody the opportunity to express themselves as to how they think things should go on. But after you've been given the opportunity to speak and you spoke and everybody listened, you should also give other people the opportunity to speak. But to keep the legislature at a standstill, and to start using wrong words on your colleagues is wrong. He should graduate from the stage of hostility and get to the stage of being, to be very, you can express without insults. You can express yourself without insulting somebody. You can express yourself without disturbing somebody.
We saw the action like
Okay.
fight.
No, we cannot fight. Our level now, we can't fight. We express ourselves. We'll have those different intellectual tussles, but we will not fight. We've passed the level to fight. I don't think in these modern days we should fight, but sometimes tension will come and you'll find these things happen in legislative politics, most especially when everybody fighting for their district interests. So when somebody feel like their district interest is not being prioritized and another district is being prioritized, it becomes a political. If we don't see it being in the budget, we're not going to sign to the budget, most especially the one that will benefit the Liberian people. I'm not interested in the salary for lawmakers. I'm not interested in the salary for ministers and government officials. I'm interested in the civil servant salary increment. I'm interested in what the University of Liberia and all public schools will benefit. I'm interested in what JFK and all public hospitals will benefit. I'm interested in what the students of Liberia will benefit. I'm interested in what Linsu FLA, the young people, the Federation of Liberian Youth, what they will benefit, and other organizations that are helping to keep the peace of this country. I'm interested in what fire service will benefit. So not just to give fire service money, because when you look at the money aspect, you can have 500 fire service trucks in this country. When the right thing is not put in place, it becomes a problem. So the educative aspect of the whole fire service issue, you also need to educate the citizens. You also need to get LEC involved. You need to get other different people involved to educate our people, even the wiring of our different homes. We have to educate our people as to how to wire their homes. So it's a joint program, because you can bring fire service truck, but it does not change the fact that houses will not burn.
Of course.
So if the wrong thing happens in the house will burn. So while you bring in fire service truck, you should also create, there should be money allocated in the budget for them, the people of fire service, to have different community programs, awareness, to go and educate our people on their wiring, how to manage electricity. Those are things people do in other countries. They have those things on the television, and anybody can just call anybody now, they go and connect their house. They're not even looking at the quality of the wire. So there are different things we should be focusing on now. Like I told you, JFK, I mean, the government will be buying us car, right? That is about us. The government will be buying ministers' car. The government will be taking care of. Sorry. When we conclude, when the budget is being concluded, then we know what is there. Now it's just allocation. I mean, until it is passed into law, then you say, okay, this is appropriate. But obviously, since I've been here, they have never bought lawmaker car for less than 40 or 45,000. They've never bought that. So if you can allocate those kind of money for yourselves, I mean, to get better cars, the ministers having cars for 45, 50,000, you know, you having enough money in the budget for people to travel. It's a good thing. But let's also put something inside for the hospitals. Let's also make sure that the way we are okay, and the citizens be okay. The citizens are not taking what we are taking. They are not taking pay. They are not getting what we are getting. So when we are making something, what they will benefit from generally, we have to pay more attention to that. So those are things like different vocational schools. Like I have LORC in District Number 9. We have Humanity First in District Number 9. We have the Liberia Vocational Institute in District Number 9. What are they benefiting from the budget? Okay, these are people who are giving education. They are mentoring our people to become professional people. Okay, you say that the people are not professional, they don't have career, they are not professional to work. So you have those different vocational schools are providing the knowledge for them. I mean, it's a good deal that, I mean, whatever's supposed to be, should be. But let's prioritize. So at this time, it is not time for politics, it's time for reality. So I was just telling my colleague, we have no time in our favor. Let's focus on what the people will benefit from rather than what you should benefit from as an individual. But he saw that he took offense, you know, and he started to say a whole lot of different things. So we were just telling him what he was doing as a young man. He's even misrepresenting our generation. You know, our generation as an educated man, that's not the best way to communicate. The best way to communicate is to intellectualize issue with logic. It's not to use your muscles. No, we're not using muscles anymore. We're using the brain. So you have to use your brain to move, but to be very hostile. Those things have passed. The day of Liberians being hostile have passed. It's about time we intellectualize. What we say, the country can never go back to war. We can't fight war in this country anymore. So, I mean, we should be more civil. We should be very civilized in the issue, and I mean, we'll go forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Foko. So that was the first of business. Thank Saah Foko there speaking. Thank you for following. Thank you for sharing.